how did you transition? Because I know that there were some challenges, I'm sure, going into a tech space where you're not directly patient facing. Were there some challenges that you faced in stepping into that new role?
I think the first challenge was really a little bit of that imposter syndrome of like, I'm not a tech person, right? And like, am I the right person for this role? Am I going to say the right things? Am I going to provide enough perspective? Like, am I going to be able to be the person that they want me to be in this role, right? And so there was definitely a lot of that up front. I was lucky enough that the Pocket Erin culture is very warm and welcoming, but also just values everybody's input. And so it was a very safe environment to walk into. And I learned very quickly that I could kind of squash that voice in my head and just focus on what I brought to the table. And
Absolutely.
I think, nurses, it's like, I see, and I continue to meet so many nurses that wonder the exact same thing, because they're like, well, I'm good at patient care. I don't really know what that translates into, but it translates into so many things. And so the things that I did as a nurse working at a large health system, trying to grow an infusion program and dealing with some of the challenges of just building that up were just real life skills that I was able to transfer into my role at Pocket Erin, to be able to think about things from an operational perspective, to think about things in terms of a patient experience perspective. And then there are things we take for granted that product teams and technology teams may not understand about the patient experience or their expectations. And so sometimes my perspective can be helpful in even developing how the user interface is on our platform, right? When they're developing a new feature, I'll say, hey, like the nurses aren't going to really like it if they're going to have to look for it here, here, and here. So any way we can make it flow a little easier. Or from the patient side, we're working with a lot of geriatric patients. Like they're not going to, I don't know if they're going to know that button you guys have here on the design is actually like a slider. It kind of looks like you can click it, like simple things like that, just from being with patients and families, you start to learn. And so, that was definitely one of the first initial challenges, but I realized it was more like in my head. I had to kind of get over that and give myself credit for the value that I could bring to the table.